Jai Gajanan. Ganeshaya Namastubhyam. Herambaya Ekadantine. Swanandavasine Tubhyam. Brahmanaspataye Namaha. So we are starting fresh again from chapter 24 of second part of Mudgal Puran. This is a story about, same, we were talking about Dhruva and the Manu Vamsha, the sons of Manu and his lineage. So in continuation of that, from Dhruva who became a star because he worshipped Vishnu, and Vishnu blessed him that I will raise you to a position higher than the sun. So he was given a position beyond the sun. So that is another constellation, you can say, Dhruva constellation. Now here in Dhruva had a son in the, sorry, not a Dhruva, in the Dhruva's lineage, there was a person called Anga who was in that lineage of Dhruva. And like his father, he also was a very righteous and respected by all and all. And he became the king of that land. Now, he was a present king. This Anga, he was after some time, he of course, he was married to Mrityu, daughter of Mrityu, and he got an extremely cruel son. Now, you remember Mrityu and all those, that lineage was in that other, the two sons of Manu, uh, Uttamapada, and the one from whom a lot of this cruel or the negative kind of people was a lineage in that. So similarly, Mrityu was the daughter of Mrityu, was given to King Anga, and as a result, his son was a very cruel kind of a person. His name was Vena. Vena was the name given to this person. Now, this Anga as a king, he tried to sort of discipline him and give him all kinds of education, and tried to bring him to a respectable kind of a position, because he has to occupy as a position as a king. But he did not accede to all the this request of his father. He got mixed up with this thieves and all, robbers. And actually, he got into bad company. And as a result, he was not fit enough to become the king. And because of mixing up with this thieves and robbery, they looted the kingdom. The people were unhappy. So all the people, they went to the Brahmins seeking refuge. But in the meanwhile, when this cruel Vena got into this bad company of robbers, the king, he had attained a certain stage. He said now, he felt that now enough, I don't want to rule the kingdom anymore. So he decided to renounce the kingdom and went to the forest for doing penance. So now this kingdom was actually without any king. This Vena was a cruel person, and he was so the people didn't know what to do actually. So they went to the Brahmins and they said, "What are we to do?" They tried to discuss and find a solution. Finally, the Brahmin said, "Okay, now who's fit enough to rule a king? Only the king's son. So others are not groomed for that, right?" So they caught hold of Veena and made him the king. But the arrogant king Vena, he overpowered the thieves, and he firmly established himself. He became more powerful over the thieves, and he established his dominion over the whole land. So he was worse than the thieves. He cast aside all kinds of laws, and law and order was not there. He started spreading fear among the people. And this spread not only in this kingdom, into the neighboring kingdoms also. As a result, his subjects, the people who were following the four Varnashrama Dharma and everything when his father was there, Now they stopped observing the Varnashrama Dharma. So they once again they went to the Brahmins and they said, see, we are suffering under this king. We didn't have a king. Now we made him the king. Now we are suffering under him also. So when they tried to, then the wise Brahmins, they tried to go to the king and tell him about their grievances. But this Vena, what he said, I am the protector of all. So you have to worship me. I'm your king. So how can you not obey me? So Manisla, he tried to forcefully establish his power over his subjects. So when they found that he's no good for this, he's a cruel king. Plus, he's not listening to us. So what they did, they all got together, they cursed him and they killed him. Okay, they killed this unjust king. So now what happened? They killed this Vena also. But now who is his successor? अभी उसका successor ढूंढने के लिए what they did, they churned the dead body of this king. And from the left side of the king, one dwarf came. One dwarf was born. He just manifested. A dark fellow, big mustache, and he was also looking cruel, eyes yellow. So now this dwarf, he looked at these people. The moment he manifested from the dead body of Vena, the Brahmins, they just looked at this dwarf and they said, your name is Nishad. Sit down. So they gave him the name Nishad. And they gave him now naturally this is a dwarf. He looked the very embodiment of cruelty. So they sent him to the forest. They made him, they set up a house and all in the forest, and they asked him, you stay there. Then they came back to the dead body. Now this dead body, now this Nishad who was sent to the forest, that's a Nishad tribe. There is a tribe who have this lineage from this Nishad, and they live in the hills and forests and all that. And they also, their main occupation is fishing. So even that tribe is still there. Then they came, now these people, the Brahmins and all the sages, they came back to this Vena's body. Now this Vena's body, that all the cruelty had gone off in the form of this dwarf. So from then, once again, they churned him, and from his right side manifested a couple, a husband and a wife, and they were Lakshmi and Vishnu. They were an incarnation of Lakshmi and Vishnu. So this Lakshmi and Vishnu was born from the right side of Vena. He was known, the Vishnu means, actually they gave that the Vishnu was on, but Vishnu means the male person who was born, he was given the name Pruthu. Pruthu. That is how the Pruthu dynasty started on earth. So remember, we are talking about the earliest family of the Manvantara. So Manu had 2 sons, and then he had so many other sons, 100 sons, 90 sons. They did all kind of penance and all that. Then 10 of them were kings, and they were made. So like that, in that lineage came this Dhruva, and after Dhruva was this Vena. From Vena came this Pruthu. So he ruled this kingdom righteously, and he was a justful king, because now this Pruthu, that is from Pruthu only this earth got the name Prithvi. Prithvi came from this the king's name Pruthu. So he was a Kshatriya. He was now a Kshatriya. Kshatriya dynasty started from here. He ruled the kingdom very righteously. He became famous in the world as a just and dutiful king. He established the Kshatriya Dharma. So after that, so we were talking about the various 4 Varnashrama Dharma, but the Dharma of Kshatriyas was established by King Pruthu. The subjects who follow the religion of Varnashrama Dharma prospered under his rule, And after some years, there was a famine. Now, in this kingdom, there was a famine. So people were deprived of food. There was heat. There was it was the farmland became dry. No crops were there. The people were distressed, and the subjects sought refuge with the king. So naturally, the people, they wanted help. So they went to their king. Because of the immoral deeds of Vena, Mother Earth was an embodiment. Mother Earth had devoured all the food. Now, see, the king's kukarmas, that is bad karmas, has an effect on the land, on the people also. And not only in that generation, subsequent generation also suffers. So, if the king, as a ruler of that kingdom, has great responsibility, and if the king rules wisely in righteous ways, following all the dharma, he's full of virtues. He takes care of the people. He sees that all are provided for, and whatever necessary by the subjects, he listens to them and rules justfully. Then he's coronated, he's celebrated also, he's given a good position, gets all the respect and reverence of the public, of the people. At the same time, if he does not behave well with the people, let us see now the Vena, he had mixed up with the thieves, and he started robbing the people only, and he looted them. There was no law and order. So actually, because of that, the people themselves killed him, and then afterwards, even the earth had to suffer drought. So even a part of the sins, the land has to bear. So the people were deprived of food. Mother Earth, because Mother Earth, here it is mentioned, Mother Earth had devoured all the food. The Mother Earth, the earth cannot eat up the food. It just was not able to germinate the seeds. Crops for fresh crops. So the it becomes actually barren. The earth becomes barren and unable to, and so she was not willing to produce any food. Earth was not giving crops. Unable to bear the sufferings of the subjects, the king was furious. So after musing about it, and in order to discipline Prithvi, he installed a powerful arrow on his bow. Now he thought, Prithvi ko, I will have to teach Prithvi a lesson, the earth a lesson. See, in those days, even now, we consider the rivers as Mother Ganga, or the earth as Mother Earth, and Prithvi, like everything as a living entities, having means almost worshipping them as gods, right? As deities. We worship the people tree, this tree, that tree, and all that. So, like that, in those days, earth also was worshipped. And even now we worship earth in the form of, we make idols from the earth and worship. So what he did, he was annoyed with earth because she was not giving crops. So he put an arrow on his bow to end the famine. He was just pulling the bowstring in the direction of the earth for assault. Seeing the king ready to um, mm, shoot at the earth, Prithvi, Mother Earth, was terrified. She assumed the form of a cow and fled. With the bow and arrow mounted firmly, the king means that the Prithvi assumed a human form. Sorry, not a human form, a form manifested as a cow. That's why we worship cows in India, because cows are considered sacred, because it came out of Mother Earth. And even initially, even in the Manthan, when Meru was churned in the churning of the Meru mountain, Kamadhenu also came, wish fulfilling cow, which was given to Indra. So, like this, now here, when this King Pruthu tried to attack Mother Earth, she assumed the form of a cow and she started running. Now this Pruthu ran after her like Yama, Lord of Death. He chased her. Finally, cornered by Prithu, Mother Earth surrendered to the king. Trembling with palms joined in reverence, she said, O guardian of the earth, will you kill me? A woman who is the name of, who is a mine of abundance, such as medicinal herbs and food. O Kshatriya, please pardon me. I have come to you seeking shelter. Please spare me. So now this cow, assuming a feminine form, or maybe as a cow itself, or as a woman, assuming a human form, she says, she speaks to the king. Please pardon me. I have come to you. I'm surrendering to you. So when she surrendered to the king replied, I shall kill you if you do not obey my orders immediately. And he named her Vasundhara. Vasundhara, this cow had assumed the feminine form. Oh, he addresses her, Vasundhara. If you wish to live, you must release food. She was holding on to the food. So you must release the food that you have swallowed. This is with you. This is for certain. Otherwise, I will kill you. So the king orders this Vasundhara to release the food. So Prithvi replied, O king, how can I yield the medicinal herbs and plants that I have already swallowed? O eminent king, you must first make me an even plateau. Then I shall assume the form of a cow. Anyone can obtain with certainty all the medicinal aspects from me in the form of milk. Let someone approach me as a calf, and I shall return all vegetations and grains as my milk. Also, please appoint a milker. This will lead to prosperity. Otherwise, O guardian of earth, your killing me will be useless, will be in vain. So now you must, this is a very interesting kind of an episode, which all of us means when we were doing the translation, like I did the translation and I gave a first draft. I think just I mean, the people who are reviewing my translation, they just couldn't understand what are you talking. How can they milk a cow and then all these things come out of a cow? So like it looked very unbelievable kind of a thing, but this is the way it happened, like that because of that the earth, mother earth, absorbed all the food into her, all the vegetation, all the possibilities. So actually she assumed this, she gave the promise as a mother earth, and then she returned, she became a cow, and um, everybody had to milk with whatever they intended. And as they were milking the cow, those things manifested. So it's an interesting phenomena that happened. This is how the Vasundhara gives the solution. So hearing the words, now King Pruthu was shattered. He had shattered many mountains with his arrows and leveled the earth. Now she is telling now, you make this earth a plain, make that mountain into a plain, flat land, and in that flat land, you have to appoint a milkman, and they will be milking me, and from the milk, whatever they express as desire, they will get that. Okay, so now this Prithu, he leveled the earth with his arrows. Later, he constructed well-planned cities and towns on it. Since then, the concept of towns and city planning came into existence. So Prithu accepted the earth as a daughter, and hence she is known as Prithvi. He transformed Manu into a calf, and he became the milker. So first he himself, he transformed Manu into a calf, and then he became the milker. The milk she gave was like food, was enriched with 6 flavors. Later, residents from all the 3 worlds arrived to milk this cow. All of them, all the gods, Indra, Varuna, Rudra, Vishnu, all of them came to milk this cow. So Prithvi was the first he made himself as a milkman, and then he milked the cow, and all that came out was food first. Then one by one, people from all other worlds, that is Swargaloka and all of them, they came one by one. Each one wholeheartedly blessed this Vasundhara, that is that cow, as she was a giver of food in the form of milk. So that's why even milk is considered as a very, sacred. Milk is considered very sacred because when there was no other food, they had only this milk. Was the first food that came from Vasundhara, the cow. That is Prithvi who assumed the form of Vasundhara, the cow. Okay, so then Brahaspati, the guru of the gods, came. He milked her using Brahmadeva as a calf. See, if you have observed in the villages, in the cities, we have not observed so much. Usually, the cow gives milk only when the bachada is around. When the young one is around, then she gives more milk. So that is why Prithvi, when he became the milkman, he made Manu as the bachada, that is as a calf, so that the cow Vasundhara is induced to give milk. So that's how she gave milk as food. Then when Brahaspati, what he did, when he became the milkman, he used Brahmadeva as a calf. He made Brahmadeva as a calf, and then he extracted milk from Vasundhara, and that milk was Vedas. Yeah, it looks all very fantastic. I mean, it just looks, sounds very unbelievable, kind of how all this can happen. But this is the way it is described in the Puran, as manifestation when there is complete drought, or you can say after an annihilation, when there is complete destruction in a community or in a land, how once again it comes out. Means without complete destruction of the universe. It's not like pralayaya or then complete destruction happens. No, it's like an arid desert land where the earth is also barren. Then how? Then a divine being comes. A divine, like how from this Vena's right hand side, Mahavishnu and Lakshmi manifested. And they only asked Vasundhara, they made the Prithvi herself as manifest as this cow. So similarly, all gods came and they asked whatever they wanted. So naturally, Brahmadeva wanted Vedas. So from Brahmadeva, Brahaspati asked for Vedas, making Brahmadeva as a calf. He milked the cow Vasundhara, and what came, or what manifested was the Vedas. Then Kalagni Rudra milked her using Rudra as the calf and extracted milk in the form of food, that is flesh, which is the life of Shankara. Then Indra milked her using Vishnu as a calf and extracted milk in the form of karmas, which are the basis of yajna karmas. Dhruva milked her using Surya as a calf, extracting milk in the form of luster or shine, light, which is the life of all the constellations. Seshanaga was used as a calf. Seshanaga used Vasuki as the calf and to extract milk, and what he extracted was food for the snakes. Nandikeshwara, who bereft of ego, milked her using Shiva as a calf and extracted milk in the form of knowledge. So, see, milk, why it is considered sacred? It was from this milk that all this got extracted. What? Vedas, yajna karmas, means all the god, like even Guru, Vishnu, Shiva, Shankara, Rudra, Sheshnag, all these main deities extracted from that milk whatever they represented. Brahmadeva represented Vedas, that came out. Then Shiva represented life, because he actually represents death, but it is from that death that life springs forth. So he got life from there. Indra extracted milk as a uh, Indra used Vishnu. Indra milked her using Vishnu as the calf. So he got yajna karmas, because all the gods get food as yajna from yajna karmas. So we need to understand this as what reaches the gods, it that they that manifested out of the sacred cow. Just like Kamadenu was a sacred cow, it was a wish fulfilling cow. So you just wish for it, you get all of those things. Similarly, Kalpataru also like a wish fulfilling tree. You wish for it, it comes. So like that here, it was the earth had the evolution had reached a certain stage where you can't just wish and it will manifest. The wishes did not have that much power. That is mere thought manifestation. That is like in when Brahma was there, Brahma manifests Manasa Putras. He manifested Manasa Putras. That is just by thought, those beings manifested. But in course of evolution, see, in evolution, what? There was progeny by intercourse between man and woman. So when there was an evolution, we needed a physical object from whom this can be extracted. Okay, so now these are so that is why symbolically cow was used for manifesting, once again remanifesting the Vedas, Yajna Karmas, the lust, the luminosity of Surya, then Seshanaga, milk for the Nagas, the snakes. Nandikeshwara. Nandi is also considered because he was the first Sishya of Shiva. So, knowledge, all the Shiva Tattva. Then, in this manner, Devas and every animate and inanimate beings on earth established by Pruthu received their nourishment. Naturally, yajna karmas are the nourishment for the gods. Then the Vedas are the nourishment of Brahmadeva and gurus, the teachers, acharyas, rishis. For Surya, what is nourishment? Light, rays of the sun. So like this, from the Prithvi, everything, all these nourishment of each of these different, I can say, yonis or species or gods also got their nourishment. So that is why they all, King Pruthu paid obeisance to earth, the Bhumi, and treated her as his daughter. She was extremely happy. In this manner, after milking Prithvi of her nutrition in the form of milk, King Pruthu ruled with law and order and later became the sovereign emperor. So at that time, Pruthu ruled the whole of the earth, the whole of Prithvi, and he became the sovereign emperor of this whole earth. Okay, thereafter, Pruthu did 100 Ashwamedha Yagnas. This powerful because he became naturally Samrat or the emperor of this whole earth, means he will do as a what kind of yagna? He will try to do the most best of all yagnas. So he did the Ashwamedha Yagna. He made generous donations. The Ashwamedha, as we all know, is a horse sacrifice where one horse is selected, a good horse, healthy horse, generally white, and it is sent to Rome along with an army. And if that wherever it travels, if the kings don't give a fight, then it was generally that area came under the rule of the Samrat, this particular emperor. If anybody gave a fight and then they were defeated, then that also was captured by the king. So it was used by these Indian kings to prove their imperial sovereignty. Like now, even now, that kind of power, power tussle keeps going on, happening across the world. Who is superior to whom? Who listens to whom? So that kind of to establish their superiority over the other kings. A horse accompanied by the king's warriors would be released to wander for a period of 1 year. So, in the territory traversed by the horse, any rival king who would dispute the king's authority, anybody who felt that, okay, he's not, we will not accept him as a king, then he'll have to fight. So, but they challenged the warriors of that who accompanied that horse, and if they were defeated, they had to submit to this king, accept him as a king. After 1 year, if no enemy had managed to kill or capture the horse, the animal would be guided back to the king's capital. It would then be sacrificed, and the king would be declared as an undisputed sovereign. Okay, so that was a Ashwamedha Yajna. So even Brahma, Vishnu, Shankara were present there when Pruthu was performing this Ashwamedha Yajna. And all devas attended these yajnas along with the Gandharvas. There was the gods could come on earth. They moved. They attended these Ashwamedha yajnas. Kashyapa and other rishis, Sesh Naga with other Naga chiefs also attended this yajna. So we will halt here. We will stop for this story over here and continue Prithu's story tomorrow. Settle down into yourself. Bring all your attention on your physical body. See that your feet are firmly planted on the floor, spine erect, eyes closed. And gently bring all your thoughts onto your breathing. Observe your breath. As you breathe, as the breath naturally flows into you, now bring your conscious attention to your breath. Count 1 to 10 as you inhale and 1 to 10 as you exhale. Feel your breath all the way See that your breath is in a rhythm, Your inhalation and exhalation happening in a natural rhythm with your conscious attention on it. If the mind wanders, bring it back on your breath. It's been a while since we meditated. Pull the mind back to your breathing. Any other thoughts comes in, just tell the mind I'll attend to you later. Bring your attention to your breathing. If your attention is on what we discussed just now, why the cow is considered so sacred, let's dwell on that. The Mother Earth manifested the cow on earth, and everything else were manifested by the mere action of milking the cow with an intention. So, if our intention is pure, focused, completely clear, then the same milk can manifest what you desire. That was, of course, the power of the gods. Their intention was powerful to the exclusion of every other thought. That is, when there are no distractions, when there are no diversions of that mind consciousness matter, then it will manifest in the form that is intended. That is the Ichha Shakti, the power of Siddhi. The Buddhi, the power of the intellect, it is used. Then the knowing which is there in that intellect gives the form that is to manifest, and the Ichha Shakti, the power of desire, the power of intent, the willpower gives the energy for that intent. So energy goes where attention goes. Energy flows where attention goes. So, Icha Shakti is the energy that fuels the intent, the attention, or that knowing what is to be manifested. And that is how things manifest. So, even by the action could be anything. Action of it was of merely of milking the cow, but the intention was something. And who was the provider of energy? The for Vedas, it was Brahmadeva. Brahmadeva, from whose mouth the sound force had manifested the Vedas at the time of creation. The same energy of Brahmadeva, with the intent of Vedas by the Guru Brahaspati, manifested the Vedas from the same cow. Indra, he used Vishnu for manifesting the yajna karmas, or the power of yajna to convey food to all the devas. To his powers, Indra's powers. Indra's powers are who? Indra's ministers are who? Varuna, Agni, Vayu, air, wind, fire, all these powers, they needed food. So the same milk of Vasundhara, with the intent of getting the food from Yajna Karmas, using Vishnu as the Ichha Shakti. Vishnu is the Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna manifests the pure food for the nourishment of the gods, of the various elements, primordial elements, such as rain, the fire, Varuna, the gods of fire, gods of the elements. So, so a recreation happened at the turn of a Manvantara. What is Manvantara? There are 14 Manvantaras in a whole Kalpa. Kalpa, one day in the life of Brahma. 432,000 crores year of years. So in that beginning of every Manu, Manvantara, a new Manu is there. And when there is pralay or annihilation, it could be part annihilation, may not be entire annihilation. Or destruction. There is a destruction. After destruction, a creation happens. So this is a story of one of those creations that happened, described in this Purana. So even today, because we are in the same, that same Manu, Purandara, Purandara Manu is the present Manu. Sorry, Indra, Purandara, Indra. So in this Manvantara, this creation manifested as a cow. That is why even today we hold the cow as sacred. So it is a kind of rejuvenation of this earth that happens after a part destruction. That part destruction may cover the whole earth. We're all talking about the Third World War and stuff. So if there is destruction, how will the earth reinvent itself? This is the story of the earth reinventing herself during the same Manvantara. Think deeply on this. This destruction may be a natural calamity which results in the destruction, or it could be man made. We are already seeing the effects by the response of nature, the volcanoes that are erupting in residential areas, mountains collapsing, volcanoes in the ocean levels rising, flash floods happening, clouds bursting. The Mother Earth is responding. And these are violent responses which humans, even hundreds of humans, cannot handle. So, what to do in this case? We need to control the imbalance of energies. It's imbalance of the energies in the earth itself. The water element, the fire element, the earth element, all the elements are in imbalance. And it happens when the Ichha Shakti overpowers the Kriya Shakti. There is Ichha Shakti and Kriya Shakti, the left side and the right side. That is, Ichha Shakti is represented by the left side of our body. The Kriya Shakti is represented by the right side of our body. What we desire, we express through our right side or actions. Right side means left brain, and left side is right brain. So when there is imbalance in our desires and ability to take action, we don't succeed, right? We can see in our own daily life, in our own, each individual can experience it. We all have desires, but our ability to act is limited. So we don't get what we desire. So we are unhappy. When we are unhappy, we get angry, we get violent, we destroy. So if this can happen at the individual level, just by merely observing our own self, our own actions and reactions, we can understand the cosmic reactions. Think where we go wrong. Look deep within yourself how many unfulfilled desires you have, how many unnecessary desires we have, and we are fighting to get it. See how we can limit our desires to the extent that keeps us satisfied. We need satisfaction and contentment. Can we eat more than the capacity of our stomach? The stomach tells us, Bus, I can't handle more. Take a nice deep breath to a full count of 10, all the way into your abdomen. See what your Manipur chakra is telling you. Your Nabhi, your stomach region. Breathe all the way into your abdomen and exhale. You can feel the energy of your Nabhi chakra, the Manipur chakra, on your middle finger of both hands. You can know the health from the sensations at the tips of the fingers. If you feel a prickly sensation, there may be something wrong in your stomach. If you feel heat or numbness, no sensation at all, see the health of your stomach, of your abdomen, digestive organs. Bring your attention to your breathing. The element of the stomach, Manipur chakra, is fire. The fire in the belly. It needs to be fed and kept in check. That is why when we eat, before we eat, we say, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi, Brahmajno Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahmakarma Samadhinam. All the food that we eat is Brahma. It is Brahma who is feeding the Brahma within, and it is from that the nutrition is extracted to feed the actions of Brahma for reaching the goals of Brahma. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam, Brahma karma samadhina. For the satisfaction of Brahma, we do actions. If we remember this prayer, we will know the purpose why we eat. So is it with all kinds of consumption. Take a nice deep breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Rub your hands together. Cup your palms and place it on the eyes. Rub your face and gently open your eyes.